Heaven's Gate, the Moonies, Osho, Nexium, John of God. Throughout modern history, charismatic spiritual leaders have promised enlightenment, salvation, and secret knowledge, and thousands have followed. But what is it that draws people to these powerful spiritual figures in the first place? More importantly, why do people stay? Welcome. Hello, Terry. Hello, Annalisa.
Oh,
So who should we start with?
they're all so good.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Well, let's go back to the 60s and 70s to start
yeah,
off with. Do you remember the Hare Krishnas
Yep.
in
I do.
airports?
hmm I used to be terrified of them, and then all of a sudden, by the time I got to grad school, we were hosting. They'd come to our campus and make vegetarian food, and everybody loved it. And it was like really low key, and they were cool people. They weren't trying to push anything on you. It was like a weird change where I was like, oh, okay, these Hare Krishnas, they're cool. I don't know. But earlier as a kid, I was terrified of them.
It was very strange having these people come up to you and give you flowers, and they were everywhere. They were outside of airports, they were inside the airports, you just couldn't get away from them.
Yeah.
And I never really had anything to do with them. I do know that there is a compound in Gainesville, not
Hmm.
that
Really?
far from here.
Yeah. I think it's a different, I don't know. I don't think it's a different like religion in terms of they've changed their beliefs, but I think they've changed their practices and how to evangelize.
Yeah.
They don't seem to do that
No, they
because what they believe, what I've looked at, does not, seem weird or scary or bad to
mm-mm,
me.
mm-mm.
And that could be said for
Hmm.
a lot of these cult like, you know, followings or whatever, is that their core belief system is pretty much the same throughout. They just like religion, right? The core teachings and beliefs of religion, of all religions, is pretty much the same thing.
Well,
It's
yeah.
what they do with it
Hmm.
and how they control it and control you and twist things
Hmm.
to get their following.
Every religion starts as a cult. It turns into a religion after a certain number of participants, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
it, just to make it clear for everyone, we're not any kind of experts on cults or
No.
narcissism, and we're not
Right.
offering legal, medical, or psychiatric advice. And I'll put referral links in the description for people that we would refer you to that are pretty much cult experts, like Stephen Hassan, who was a former Moonie and turned
Ah.
cult expert. And but we're just remembering things that happened during our lifetime and the
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
experiences that we have had. And Moonies is the next one.
Yeah,
I remember the Moonies. That
I
was
do
really
too. That
good.
was kind of wild. Didn't they all like hundreds of them get married to each other
Yeah,
at the same
yeah,
time?
yeah. It was mass marriages. It's very controlling. It's
It's
still going
crazy.
on. The
Is
sun,
it?
yes, I
Mm.
think the sun has taken over.
I don't think
Wow.
they've mellowed like the Hare Krishna. I don't think I'd want
No,
to hang out with
no,
them.
no. I saw a documentary on it not too long ago, and I don't think they've changed very much. But that was definitely deemed a cult. And plus, he was, uh, what's his name? Sun Myung Moon.
Sun Myung Moon.
Mm.
He got into politics,
Oh my God.
and
Yeah, I remember that.
Steve Hassan has a whole story about when he started waking up to that it was a cult, and he started recognizing lies that were being told.
Hmm.
Very interesting story. And then there was Heaven's Gate.
Oh, that
That
was a
I
crazy
remember
one.
that distinctly because I flew home from grad school when that was announced, when the bodies were found, and I remember being in the car going, "What the hell?"
Yeah. And that was very strange.
Tea and
That
dough.
I don't understand how people got into that. I don't understand how the men would say it was okay to be castrated
I do.
and they didn't have a doctor do it.
Oh, that I don't understand. But I think these were people that were on the outskirts of this, everyone's through the sexual revolution, everything, everybody has their own. I think these people were probably simply asexual. Or at the unfortunate worst, like like Applegate or Apple, whatever his name is, I think he was a closeted homosexual.
Oh, definitely.
And
Yeah,
I think a lot
definitely.
of these people that were in that cult felt a kinship to people who did not want to have sex, but could not say that because you look stupid if you're not like someone having sex, or whatever it is
Oh,
that they
Marshall
feel.
Applewhite.
Marshall Applewhite, thank you.
Yeah,
Marshall
that's
Applewhite,
what it was.
I think
co-founder of the UFO-based religious group Heaven's Gate,
I
where they
think they felt
thought
seen.
that the
Yeah,
UFO was gonna come down and
yeah.
take them to another planet.
They were
Mhm.
didn't they do that at a time when there was a massive
Hail bomb,
hell bop, yeah,
yeah,
hell
hail
bop
bop.
Mm-hmm.
was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and they were
And
going to
hitch a ride.
hitch a ride on the
We're gonna
hell
hitch
bop.
a ride on the hail bomb. And weren't they like computer people? They would a majority of them were like savvy with computers and stuff at a time when not many of us were.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was way at the beginning of the internet when that happened.
yeah.
Now, how do you think that differs from the meteors that have come into our solar system and people getting all, oh, that's a UFO, oh, we're being enlightened by this comet. It
Well,
could
there's
have
been
been
a
just a couple
couple,
of rocks passing through our universe.
Could be
right?
space junk for that
Yeah,
matter.
it could be, but there's been two recently. There was the Mahuma Hama, whatever.
Oh,
Right.
really?
I forget. It starts with an M. And then there was right after that, there was the oh gosh, it was a number and a
Oh,
letter.
it was like AI
No,
Yes.
3 or something like that.
A2, yeah, something like that.
I3 Atlas.
Yes, yeah.
There you
I3
go.
Atlas.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people are I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are UFOs. I don't know.
Who
But
knows?
I think people are just, they're looking beyond the earth for help because
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
everything's so screwed up here.
Yeah.
And they're looking for answers, and they're looking for someone to outside of the earth to come in and save us from ourselves
Yeah.
or something. I
But
don't know. And they're
it
just
seems
latching onto this.
it seems like they're also looking to not take responsibility. Like they want to give their power to something or someone
Yep.
else
Yep.
and then feel like they're in a group that thinks the same way, so that gives them comfort.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems more like I don't want to have to live in this reality, so I'm going to live outside of this reality.
Yeah. But yeah, so people don't want to look at that and say, "Hey, we created this.
Mm-hmm.
This is our fault.
Yep.
We created it. It's up to us to fix it."
Yeah.
And people want, not everyone, but most people want someone else to fix them
Yeah.
Yeah.
or fix their
Mhm.
problems or
Mm-hmm.
tell them what to do.
Hell, I'd love that.
Not me.
I'm not looking for it, I mean, but wouldn't that be nice to snap fingers and have it all taken care of?
And
Yeah.
sometimes it's a lot of work to work on yourself.
Exactly.
So the basic need that people have. So what do you think the basic needs are that people have?
They're looking for community.
Community,
They're looking for support.
to be seen.
They're looking for their tribe. They're looking for yeah, to be seen, to be heard, to be
Validated.
um
Validated. Yeah.
Validated, big one. Yeah. Yeah. And what fascinates me more than the actual cults themselves is what makes people fall for them. And I think I mean, we all kind of feel that. We all want validation, we all want
Sure.
community, we all want all those things, but what is it that makes people join a cult and follow these cult leaders? There's, I don't know if it's something in the in our DNA, or is I'm not sure.
I don't know, because I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to join a cult.
No, and I don't think when you're in a
No,
cult, sometimes you don't even know you're in a cult when you're in one.
A cult can be anything. It can be any
Yeah,
organization. It can be any group. It can even be your family.
absolutely.
And I think a really good example would be Jim Jones
Yeah.
and how
My
he
town.
started out
Mm-hmm.
as a preacher.
Oh, but he not only was he a preacher, he was amazing. And I'm not saying that I love him. I'm just saying he was amazing at bringing together the races,
Yeah.
because it was a time when there was such divisiveness and turmoil, and everybody loved that they could just be this diverse crowd
Yeah.
of people in a church. And looking back at those videos, that looked fun. That looked cool.
Yeah. When he first he started out in Indianapolis in 1955. And it was probably he ended up at his peak. He had 3,000 followers.
Wow.
And it was a place where people of all races could come and they were accepted. And he was, he was into civil rights. He was into charities. He became political, and they had a commune, and then things started to go south. I think he started to get power.
Yep.
And then he started in with all of the characteristics of a cult leader, of isolating people, that he was supreme, that he took advantage of their vulnerability and their wanting of community. And then he had them, which a lot of cult leaders do, you sign over all of your money, all of your
Yeah.
assets, all of your
Mm-hmm.
property.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you make going forward goes to the leader. Then in the isolation, the outside world becomes demonized,
Yeah.
and we are the only ones with the truth. You only listen to me.
That's the scary part of
Mhm.
every single cult.
I'm the only one
Is
with the truth.
I am the one, I am the only one that has the truth, and everyone that does not believe the way I believe are evil.
Mhm.
You know, they're whatever. So yeah, and oh, that's the scary part. And and people are so easily manipulated
Well, that's the
into.
other thing. His manipulation specifically, he would do faith healing. And this person would say that they have back or can't walk or whatever problems, and then all of a sudden, by the end of his screaming prayer at them, they were running around the church. Turns out that woman worked in the office as an administrator, and you know, I mean, he had plans to make these people think that supernatural things were happening all around him,
Yeah.
and they were not.
Yeah. So I'm thinking you just have to have some kind of,
Charisma.
well,
No.
charisma, but psychopathy
Oh God,
Mhm.
yeah,
to do this in the first place.
I agree. And it
Somewhere
just gets
inside,
unleashed somewhere.
even if they're fooling themselves, they have these tendencies of, narcissism or um,
Power
sociopathy.
struggle. So yeah, that power will bring out
Yeah.
I'm
too
I'm
much.
I'm I'm curious to know if people who follow cults if they come from, abusive childhoods, or,
Oh,
I am too.
have had a
Yeah.
lot of trauma in their life.
Yeah. I
And
think most
that makes
definitely.
them more susceptible
Mhm.
to being manipulated, because they've been manipulated their whole entire life.
Yeah.
And it feels like comfort as
And it
opposed
feels
to
like comfort,
chaos.
even though
Mhm.
they were traumatized by it, and even though they knew that it probably wasn't right. That's everything that's all they know.
Sure, their nervous system only knows that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Right. And with them, with the cult leaders or any kind of, religious, whatever organization it is, where someone is dominating and wants control, it's a slow drip of brainwashing.
The
But
whole
yeah,
the whole boil the frog thing. Like,
yes.
you do it slowly.
So you don't even know you're getting hotter.
You don't even
Mhm.
realize what's going on. It's like she said, it's a slow drip. Um,
Yeah, and that means that even the three of us who are sitting here talking about that could be vulnerable to certain things. Like it just
Sure,
depends
sure.
on what you're.
Everyone is.
Yeah,
Everyone is.
yeah,
Look
absolutely.
at
I don't think you have to be a certain person to get into to be sucked in by a cult.
No,
It could
look
happen
at
to
the
anyone.
people that join Nexium with
Yeah,
Keith Raniere.
the promise of, getting up there in power and money and whatever career you want, that kind of thing.
Plus, if you start seeing things, if you're in an organization and you start to see things that just aren't quite right, or lying by the leader or something else, then it's
Mhm.
your fault that you misunderstood.
Yes.
And there's a whole lot of gaslighting that goes
I was just
on.
gonna say, that's gaslighting.
And then you get starting to think, maybe it is me, you know, did I really misunderstand?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
That happens in
Yeah.
marriages a lot.
I
Well,
was just gonna say
there's
that.
nothing
Yeah.
to bounce off of because you're only isolated in that situation.
Yeah. I was in a marriage where I was gaslit all the time.
Oh, it's awful.
And yeah, I was totally convinced that I was just so messed up. I was just so fucked up. It was everything was all my fault.
Hmm.
Oh, I totally believed that. I believed it. I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. Gaslighting is part of my trauma too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Who else do we have? John of God.
Now that I gotta say that one hurt because
That was a sad one. Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
friends who went down and had great times, and I was looking forward to someday maybe kind of checking that out for myself, but
Yeah, me too.
nope. So, what do you guys think of his psychic surgery stuff? Do you think that stuff is at all real? I mean, it seems symbolic to me, but what do I know?
There have been so many cases that I've seen that it was proven fake that
Oh, you've actually found that they were fake. I didn't go that deep.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't buy into that one.
No, it's a bit of a magic trick.
But then again, if you have somebody who's seeking that and they believe that that has healed them,
We see what we want to see.
Well, and for better or for worse, you can heal yourself if you believe you're being healed.
absolutely.
That seems to be clear. I mean, you have to have a certain amount of giving over to that belief, but I think that alone is kind of fascinating.
Yeah. I had a friend who went down there once a year,
Wow.
Mm.
and someone
They're
else
invested.
another friend who had gone down there a couple of times. And
Yeah, that one hurt a little.
I mean,
yeah,
we want to believe. We want to believe
Yeah.
that is true. We want to believe that these leaders can do all the things that they say they can do.
hmm
We really want that badly.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
And
I often wonder when you think of them, I mean, in their mind, and it gets too big and it gets overwhelmingly like they're a god, they have they can either believe in that or they can be insecure. And I feel like it's easier to kind of go into that belief where you believe yourself and believe the press of yourself to kind of calm down the insecurity, because all of these men are that we've just talked about are wildly insecure human beings
Yeah, all of them are.
who had
Yeah,
way
it's
too much
not all
power.
men
Mhm.
either.
No, it's not all men. There's Claire Prophet. There's,
Right. Yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Claire Prophet, she was a big one too.
Well, and didn't we get what the bleep do we know? That made a huge dent in people's like interest in um all the metaphysical stuff, and it
Yeah,
turns out it was
yeah.
produced by a cult.
It was
Yeah,
what?
what? It was
Produced,
what?
produced by a cult, isn't it?
Oh,
I didn't
no,
know that.
no, the guy who did, I don't know about that. The guy that filmed it
Yeah.
was a follower of Keith Raniere.
Oh, there's
Did
two of
not
them because I
know
thought
that.
Claire Prophet was part of his uh uh team as well. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, maybe I got that
I
wrong,
don't
but
know. I don't know.
I
yeah,
bought that movie when it came out. I
I
thought it
I
did
was
did
too.
too.
great. Yeah,
I
I
saw
was
it in
like,
the movie
oh,
theaters.
this is so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
I
So,
mean, a lot of it is true, right? But
Yeah,
they,
I mean, I
the
wasn't put off by any of
yeah,
the.
yeah.
the the guy who did the film is he has his own podcast now. He was one of the
Really,
yeah, he was one of the first, and he and his wife were one of the first people, whistleblowers of Nexium.
really.
Yeah, yeah, he is a very, very interesting man. He's
Hmm.
from South Africa and very intelligent. I love his podcast. I followed him on Patreon for a while. And he has some really interesting guests on, um, and well worth a listen to. But
Sorry,
yeah, he started to wake up. I think he was, I don't know how many years he was with him, maybe 20 or less, 12 years, something like that. I don't
Wow,
remember.
I did not know that connection. I got the name wrong. I'm so sorry. It wasn't Claire Prophet. It's Jay-Z Knight, the
Casey Knight.
the
Yeah, yeah,
trans
yeah.
Oh,
medium.
Jay-Z Knight.
The trans medium. That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. Allegedly,
Allegedly.
towards the end of her channeling, I can't remember who she channeled, but
Ramtha.
she became this real
Ramtha. Yeah.
cultish kind of
That's
thing. And
yeah.
Tom was reading that at the time, people were saying that her source, whomever was uh, channeling through her, left her.
Hmm.
And then she kind of made up the rest of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that happening. Yeah, I can see two things being right at the same time. Like she could actually be a channel and, you know, screw up and kind of go the way of her own humanness and not be the channel anymore. That
Yeah. No, that's allegedly.
I mean, how often does that happen, do you think? A channel who's the person or the entity that they're channeling decides that they're done doing what they're doing, and these people have been channeling this person for decades, right? So what happens when, I mean, does it commonly happen that they would, now they're stuck and they're going, oh my God, now what do I do? And I've made this my career, and
yeah,
and
that would be
Well,
terrifying.
yeah.
I have asked Abram about that because there are a couple of people that we have seen on YouTube. Um, it doesn't seem like their channeling is up to par anymore,
Mm.
maybe. And he was saying that if Tom ever went the way of not using his integrity and was not ethical, that he would leave in a heartbeat, that Abram would be done.
That makes sense then. That makes sense that the entity would say, okay, this is no
Yes.
longer
So I
Well,
can't.
something.
it makes you wonder.
Tom has been channeling for over 53 years. So that's 5 decades worth.
Yeah.
And he's still going strong. So it's all, I think it's all based on integrity and ethics.
But is there a way to tell if somebody is faking it?
I don't know.
But my thing is, if you're listening to a channel and the information resonates with you, I mean, who cares if it's made up or not? I mean, if it resonates,
I kind of agree with that. I mean, it's the same like the placebo. If the placebo works, who cares?
if it helps you and you believe what is being said.
I haven't gotten a weird feeling off of her. And what I mean by that is I don't it's something that I get sometimes that I cannot explain or describe. It's just a feeling like, I don't want to be a part of this. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I don't feel good here. And I loved all her cards and everything. I was totally
Mhm.
into it. I even
Mhm.
thought about taking one of her classes. And when I went to in person, I was like, I got the distinct feeling that everyone was coerced, whether you knew it or not, to be in this kind of hive where you dressed the same and looked the same and did the same thing. So I tested it by not following along. If she said stand up, I stay seated. And the feeling I got was weird. You know that there's a picture of Nazis and like all of them giving the Sieg Heil and there's just one guy standing there not doing it? That's what it felt like.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, this is weird. I'm not used to this feeling and I don't like it. So I'm gonna just dip out of here. And then, years later, now she's renounced all of that and has become the exact opposite, but in the Christian
Yeah, I was just
realm.
going to ask you if she's the one that went to Christianity.
She is. She's the one who now says all of that is a lie. All of that was the
Really?
devil. Hmm.
Oh, I do remember that now. Now that you mention it,
I think she
that was
was
that was
raised
quite a
Christian
long time ago.
Scientist. Yeah.
Mm.
But all those books, she had all of her name taken out of all of those, like hundreds of decks that she produced throughout her career.
Yeah. I just think people need to be really skeptical. I think people need to think
Sure.
for themselves. And I think these cult followers, they don't think for themselves. They just believe what they're being told and they take it at face value and they live their life that way. But anybody who is telling you things that are isolating you from your friends and family,
That right
that
there.
that are telling you,
Mhm.
what's the truth and what's not the truth, and manipulating you and lying constantly to you, is not giving you right, and is not a good person, is not, you know
It's not love.
no,
No.
it's absolutely 100% not love. And it
And without naming the religions, because there are several out there, the shunning of
oh, the
Yes.
shunning.
families, the
Yeah.
shunning of the person if they decide to leave, the shunning
Yes.
of it's that kind of loneliness that is a result of that will mess with the mind so much. That's why people stay, I think. They don't want to be ripped away from what they know and their community that they have built
Mm-hmm.
with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'd like your opinion on how you feel about this,
Mm-hmm.
about the New Age movement, which started in the 60s, and the way it has progressed, because the Elizabeth Clare Prophet was part of that. And her thing was the apocalypse
Mm,
and all of the fear mongering that goes on, that the New Age movement itself is a cult.
sure.
And all of the toxic spirituality that's happening, and it's all over YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
all over YouTube.
Hmm.
And people, I don't know what their motives are. I can't say what their motives are, but all of them are monetized.
Hmm.
And so many are just spewing out such misinformation and BS. It's astounding.
Mm-hmm.
And those people are getting thousands of views.
It's
Thousands.
scary.
And they have thousands of followers. What is it about people where they need to hear such BS? And
They don't know
such,
it's BS though.
hmm?
They don't know it's BS.
They need to hear something bigger than themselves is taking over,
It's
as my opinion.
some of this stuff is just outlandish.
Oh, it's crazy.
How
But then tell
do
people
you
what we
believe
do and they
this?
think it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy is relative.
Yeah.
People just need to think, be critical thinkers, and people are just not critical thinkers anymore.
Why is that not taught? Why is there not an actual class, a system of creating critical thinking?
I took a class,
Did you? Because I didn't.
not in like high
Would have to
school or
be in
whatever. It was in
college.
college, yeah.
It's a college class.
A critical thinking class, yeah.
I had
But this
ethics
is
classes.
this
but
is
not-
another thing, and it's not a conspiracy theory because it's coming true. I mean, this is in real life, in real time right now, is that we have been dumbed down
Yes.
specifically since the 60s. It is a planned effort to make people stupid and compliant.
All it takes to do that is taking over something like TV, radio, books. All it needs to happen is repetition.
Yeah.
You repeat something over and over again, it becomes truth, whether it's a lie or not.
Right.
That's one of the traits of a cult leader.
That's a big
Repeating the same thing over and over. So much so that you're listening to them and going, didn't he just say that 10 minutes ago? Didn't he just say that yesterday? Or didn't she just say that, a week ago?
And I think that
that's one of the thing the whole one of the tactics of the brainwashing is if you continue to repeat the same thing over and over again, people will start believing you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really big part of all of this, what I call nonsense. This is just my opinion. Is that this kind of stuff, this junk, this toxicity of spirituality is being repeated and repeated and repeated. And I'm seeing big names repeating it and repeating it and repeating it.
That's some dangerous stuff. I mean, I think in like today, I mean, there are people out there, person out there, whatever, that's trying to manipulate everyone.
Sure.
And getting them to toe the line and saying, oh, I need to shut up.
Keep going, girl.
I understand. I get you. I understand.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's just it's so blatantly obvious to me, and most people, right?
Yeah.
Most people, it is so blatantly obvious. But then you have the cult followers. I'm just going to call them cult followers because that's kind of what I think it is. That are just believing every single thing, and it's just, it's mind-boggling.
I remember as a kid studying the wars, and especially when Hitler was in power. I remember the whole time thinking, how could these people fall for this?
I know.
How could they? And now I'm here going,
yep. You're seeing it right before your eyes.
I'm so sorry I judged.
Yes. And I feel bad. I feel bad for these people because they're not using their critical thinking skills or lack thereof. They're not thinking for themselves.
It's the same thing, whatever they're taking into their heads, whatever they're concentrating on is going to come out of their mouths.
So talk more about the Nexium.
Yeah, Nexium.
Let's go back to Nexium.
Have you guys seen the documentary on that?
Yes.
It's really fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And heartbreaking.
very,
Very.
Women
And-
against
and it-
women, in a sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it started out as wanting to help people perform better in their jobs, in their
Mhm.
careers. And
Yeah.
what he
Who wouldn't
did,
want to buy into that, you know?
what he did to a lot of like basic core beliefs of how we manifest, which has also been really, it's been,
Bastardized?
yes,
Mm.
exactly. And it's been pulled in so many directions to mean so many
Mhm.
different things, and people use it for whatever their agenda is. And
Mhm.
the whole real meaning of how we create our reality with our thoughts, emotions, and and now we know the RAF
RAS. Mhm.
Mhm.
in our brain, that it started out great, but what would have been a big red flag to me, and which has always been the first red flag to me, is when people dress the same, or they
Yes.
have some kind of pendants,
Yes.
or their sashes.
Or wear the
hand,
same or wear the same shoes.
a hand
Yeah.
signal.
That is such, I've never been a follower of big groups, and which
Uh-uh.
is why I never got involved in any of these groups,
No.
even when they were popular, and like even Silva Mind Control. I never,
Right.
nothing. I just
Just the title made me afraid. I'm like, it sounds
I
interesting, but
know.
I don't know about that.
It's still around.
I know.
Still around. I'm not sure.
It sounds like interesting stuff, but I haven't actually delved into it because
Yeah,
it feels a little
I
weird to
haven't
me.
either. Um, I haven't. I've just stayed away from all of that stuff, and it's just been an instinct for doing that. But there's so many people that need that community, that need to be together with other professionals, where
Mhm.
you can network.
The whole
And
thing is networking. A
yeah,
lot of
Yeah.
businesses, not only the Hollywood community, but a lot of other corporate businesses, networking is key.
mm-hmm,
And that's not something that comes naturally to everybody, how to network, how to be outgoing and, pretty much present yourself as the product. I don't know. I think when it went into the corporate realm, and Nexium is proof of this, it became normalized.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah,
Once you normalize something,
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
scary stuff, man.
And once you're in it, and once you've had this brainwashing for years and years and years, and all of this conditioning,
Mm-hmm.
that when I first heard about the women sending naked, very explicit photos to their quote unquote master,
Mhm.
that right there I would have said,
These are the ones that were branded too, right? These women got
yes,
branding.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Jesus God.
So that's another thing that a lot of larger cults will do, is they'll get compromising information on you that they can blackmail you with.
Well, that sounds like somebody else I heard of recently.
Yeah. And
Yep.
yeah, and so these women got branded.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever walk into a situation and think, I don't think these women did either, where they would eventually get themselves branded to be, owned by this person?
They wouldn't
No,
wake
you
up that
don't.
morning and say, "Oh, I want to get branded
I think I
with
want to get branded now with your
Keith's
initials.
initials."
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Couldn't just get a tattoo. No, I had to get branded.
Yeah.
With the what did they use? A soldering
A
iron or
hot
something?
soldering iron.
Yeah.
Jesus God. And these women, I mean, and what was sold to them was that it was girl power. It was, it was all
Yeah.
about raising them up, and it really was just the same fucked up patriarchy that it's always been.
I didn't realize people were so easily manipulated. it's shocking to me that
Yeah, it is.
people
It is.
are not able to see the signs of when they're being manipulated and when they're being controlled. It's you gotta pay attention to that stuff.
Well, that's
I
another
do.
thing, like Bikram yoga.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
It, when there's physical abuse
Yeah.
going on, as well as sexual abuse, and
And
they tell
emotional
you that
yelling.
it's part of your enlightenment
Yep.
Yeah.
and it's your path to spirituality, and something's wrong with
Come
you if you
on.
don't do it.
Tell me those people
Come
don't get
on.
some kind of red flag. Even if they ignore it, do they not even get some kind of red flag when something like that,
I don't know.
comes about, and they're asked
Are
to do
they
something that they would
are,
never have thought about doing before, and then they just do it
are they looking for
blindly?
a father figure? Are they looking for, that kind of validation from a particular person that has power? I mean, you have to override your own stuff, your own red flags, in order to stay in that
Mhm.
situation. So if there were, you are stuffing them down. Like
Well,
this, but this.
look at women in controlling abusive relationships.
Yeah.
It's it can be a slow thing. And I have been in a situation myself where the dating has been great. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. Minute a ring went on my finger, personality completely changed,
You hear that story so many times. That is wild to me.
and they manipulative men or women, because it happens to men too,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not only the gaslighting, not only the abuse and the threats on your life and maybe the life of children that are involved. It's a woman just can't pick up and leave.
No.
They just can't do it because you've heard the saying, how does it go? Men are afraid that women will reject them, and women are afraid that men will kill them.
Killed. Yeah. Not that men can't be abused. I've seen men be absolutely physically abused by
Me
their
too.
spouses too.
Me too.
Yeah,
And
I was
stalked.
abused for 3.5 years by a boyfriend many decades ago. Um and I know exactly what it's like to be a woman who is unable to leave. And it was all about, for me, it wasn't like financial or um I mean, I knew this guy is evil and I need to get away from this guy, but he would threaten to kill me and my kids.
Oh,
So, you hear that all the time,
mhm.
you believe it. And I really, really
Yeah.
honestly believed that the only way I was going to get away from this guy is if I killed myself. Um, so, it finally ended because, one of my children got hurt and I was on the phone calling the police. And so it was over. Um, it was horrible. So I understand how these women stay.
Sure.
I get it, but there comes a point where you have to take the chance and say, that my life and the life of my children, outweigh, what this guy is trying to do to us. I mean, you just have to take the chance and just get out. You have to. And,
So
and it's hard. It's hard.
what makes people stay in cults, or maybe they don't think of it as a cult, a group? What makes it difficult for people to leave? Why can't people leave?
With the Jim Jones situation, they were getting threatened.
They couldn't leave.
They couldn't leave.
They couldn't leave. They killed the congressman.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was it? 900 people died, something
Mm-hmm.
like 354 children among those.
Yep.
They didn't have a
And
choice.
mothers watching it right in front of them.
Yeah.
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 Mothers
some of them,
giving the drink to their children.
Mm-hmm. And
some
or
of them
injections.
that
Yeah.
refused got shot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the situation. He definitely took them to another country where they would be isolated and he would have full
Right.
control.
Yeah.
And he knew that he had people that were with guns, that the men that he put in his militia would carry out what he asked them to do. And if that
Mhm.
was kill the other people, it was going to be
Mhm.
kill the other people.
And that's another thing with cult leaders, is that the people that he gets to work for them are just as prone to violence and manipulation
Yes.
as they are.
Yes.
Yep.
So in that situation, I understand. But in situations where, let's go back to Heaven's Gate,
Mhm.
there wasn't any kind of, as far as I know, any kind of threats. And people who lived will recall, you know, that it was just this peace loving and we were just a community. It might have looked like monks. It might have looked like a Buddhist retreat if it
Mhm.
hadn't been as toxic as it was.
Yeah. Didn't he get weirder as time went on?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did. And did you guys watch that documentary on the Heaven's Gate and listen to the people just prior to them doing what they did to themselves? They were being interviewed and
Mhm.
how soft spoken they are and
Every one of them.
how submissive they are, and just, it was like they were like they were zombies
They
or something.
were. I mean, they were all super intelligent. Like they were not. I mean, I don't know what it was. Is it that they all felt like they are outcasts because of this personality that they all seemed to share? Because it all seemed like one personality. It was one
Yeah,
haircut.
yeah,
It was
yep,
one set of clothes.
Right.
yep,
It was
yep.
all one personality by the end.
Right.
Yeah,
And
and that was
and
part of the plan.
relatives would try and intervene and say, just visit, just come visit.
Mm-hmm.
And, they would absolutely shut anyone down that wanted to talk to them or pull them out. And it didn't make sense to anyone.
When people are, I think, so embedded in their belief system and that particular reality that there isn't any swaying. They have to
No,
wake up themselves.
No,
no.
no. Once they get caught up in that,
And they were so happy. They were genuinely happy to go. Like, I mean, we know we're talking about self-deleting, but
yeah,
they were genuinely like excited for the next chapter. And
yes, because they were manipulated and told
exactly
a bunch of lies that they believed because
Well,
they loved their leader.
maybe they're in some reality that they created that they're
good for
living
them.
out
That is
that
true.
I mean, I do
fantasy.
believe in an afterlife,
That
so
is
maybe
true.
maybe
Yeah.
that's fine for them. But the way the way it came about is not something I'd wish on any family member to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's horrifying.
No.
Mm-mm.
And that's a very sad part of all of this, are the families.
Mhm.
Yes.
People that get involved in groups or cults.
Oh, you know what? So let me tell you a story. So back in the early 80s, long time ago, just when I was getting into all the spirituality and stuff, um, I was given a recommendation to read a book about Sai Baba.
Mm.
Now I don't know, a few years ago I heard that, he's long passed away, but a few years ago I heard that he was, taking advantage of children or young
Oh
women,
no, I
whatever.
didn't hear that.
I don't know if that's true or not,
Mhm.
but it could be possible, but I didn't know that at the time, right?
Mhm.
So I got really attached to him and his teachings, and all that stuff just resonated with me. It was just, it was just wonderful stuff. One of the things that he said that I loved so much was there's only one true religion, and that's the religion of love. And who can argue with that, right?
Right.
True.
So we were living in Tennessee, and my mother and my sister came to visit, and they were living in California at the time. And I had a book on my coffee table, one of Sai Baba's books on my coffee table. And decades later, my sister tells me this, right? My sister tells me that my mom saw that book on my coffee table, and she told my sister while they were at my house, I think Terry's in a cult. And so all these years, my mom has always thought that I was part of this cult.
Oh no.
But she never tried to save me. Never.
Interesting. Well,
She
she
never
probably
said,
was watching you though. She was probably like, what's her behavior? Is she doing this?
she was very judgmental. And when I would say something that was on a deeper level, she would tell herself that's just part of the cult thing.
Right. That's not really her.
Yeah. So I thought that was hilarious when my sister told me that. I was not part of a cult. I was, he never said, I am the truth and the way.
Yeah.
You can't go, you can't you can't go to heaven without me, and none of this stuff, right? So I did not feel like I was being manipulated, and I still don't feel like I was ever being manipulated. I just loved his teachings. They just resonated with me 100%.
And there's nothing wrong with that. The
No,
teachings
but
especially are the focus.
But he had a large following. I mean, a large following.
Wasn't he also doing some amazing stuff, like
he
things
he
pulling
was
out of thin air that he would
pulling vibhuti out of thin air and giving it to
Nag
people?
Champa?
He had his sleeves pulled up, and he was just pulling, waving his hand and pulling vibhuti out of the air, and pouring it from his hand, right? His
I
hand,
don't know.
which is the sleeve is up here. He's pouring it into people's palms because they're all sitting there, and he's walking by, and and he'll pull necklaces and and jewelry.
I heard all about all that.
Yeah. And he would just give it to people, and he just seemed, I don't know. I mean, I still want to believe that was true, because where's he gonna hide this stuff?
Yeah.
So, but that's sleight of hand stuff, right? That's what
It seems to be.
I know.
Oh,
Go ahead. Say it.
I know I've told you this story. I don't know if I ever told you, Annalisa.
I don't know.
Are you finished with that?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in St. Augustine, there was a guest who came to someone else who had a meetup group. And I went just out of curiosity, because a lot of people that were in our meetup group at the time migrated to this other person's meetup group by design by that other person. So I went to see this guest that they had, and you've heard of the old time spiritualism, where they have they call it a closet.
Yes.
And so the person sits there, and they sit in this dark curtain, like
cheesecloth comes out of your mouth
out, around them. And so we were told that maybe there might be a trumpet floating around in the air. To be
I
able
wanted
to
to be
look out for
real.
that.
I definitely wanted to be real, but
Yeah, I know, me too. But I'm just so
I know.
Skeptical.
And apparently this person, have you ever heard of apporting?
Yeah.
Apportations.
Okay, so apparently this person would apport, he would channel and then apport crystals.
Okay.
All right. Now that is a magician's trick
It's a lunch.
that
Yeah.
a lot of
You
people
can
and teachers,
regurgitate.
you can, and crows do it. You can, I watch the crows all the time. They just take peanuts and they just put them down their throat. They can put 4 or 5 down their throat.
Wow.
There's a not a musician, a magician who can take a frog and like store him in
Shut up.
his throat and then
Yep.
Oh God.
get it
Yep.
to come out.
It's an
Ugh.
actual
So anyway,
illusion.
Wow.
We were sitting around in this circle, and he goes into the cabinet, and they show him that, they like tie his wrist to the armchair and tie his feet to the chair, but we still can't see him.
Mhm.
And there's a trumpet that's beside him. And so he was saying, well, I channel such and such, but you're going to hear this person in my voice. And so when he started channeling, it was his voice, but it was like this, and he was channeling like this, and he's giving all this kind of information, and I'm so happy to be here, and this is such love and light, and blah, 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 blah. And so when he finished, the trumpet very conveniently fell over, so part of the trumpet was half outside where we could see it. And I'm thinking, how did he get his foot loose to knock over the trumpet?
Yeah.
That was my first thought.
Sounds a bit performative, okay?
And then he came out, and there was a table, and he started spinning up these crystals. I'm back there going, oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody there was eating it up.
Mm-hmm.
They was eating it up. And I just kept watching him. And then he was going around to each person and was going to give them a message from the person that he was channeling, but it was in his voice. And so he would give a message to one person, another person, another person. And a friend of mine was sitting next to me, and he gave her a message. And then he got to me and he said, oh, your message is the same as hers.
Oh, he pegged you right fast.
Did. He knew that I knew,
Uh-huh.
and I knew that he knew that I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the biggest red flag is
whoa, hang on. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Okay.
And so I'm watching him, and and he had a crystal for everybody, and and I go up and I get mine, and I'm thinking, this looks like glass.
Gross.
Or plastic.
Came out of his mouth.
And so after everybody's looking at their crystals and oohing and eyeing, and I've got my eye on him, and he takes out a handkerchief or a Kleenex or something like that, and he goes like this and then puts it in his pocket like he had one that was left over in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, buddy, you were so busted, in my opinion.
That's just, I'm sorry, that's just crazy.
But everybody was eating it up.
Yeah.
They were eating it up.
That is so blatantly obvious. If you're going to hide behind a curtain, I mean, there you go. I mean, enough said. He's hid behind a curtain.
I know that there are other mediums, especially in England. I think that is still done, where you have like a cabinet.
It is.
I can't speak for any of them because I've never seen any of them. There is one medium in England that I actually really like. Her name I think is Elaine. I have to look up her name. I don't have it off the top of my head, but her voice completely changes when she channels her spirit, Jonathan.
Is she on YouTube?
Yes.
I've seen
Elaine Thorpe.
Yes. We love
I actually
her.
really like her. Yeah, okay, you guys do too. Okay.
We love her. Yes.
I love her because I think she's the real deal. But when you're talking about, if you think of the early 20th century, they didn't have TV.
Mhm.
Stage productions were a lot of times thought of as, you know, whorish. This was entertainment for a lot of people at that time.
Mhm.
So I can understand why they bought into it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
But not in
don't
this day and
understand
age.
now. Exactly.
No.
I don't understand now.
No.
Well, I came home after that the next day, and I went on Amazon. Then I looked for plastic shaped crystals. You can get bags of them
Oh yeah.
for
Oh yeah.
$5.
Have you ever heard of it's an evangelical part of the evangelical faith, or I don't know how big this faction is, but there are dozens of videos on YouTube where people are finding jewels that fall from the sky. And this one man has this huge collection of jewels that he said just dropped out of the sky in front of him. Like he's chosen somehow to be this person. And each and every one of them look like a piece of glass. But they swear they've taken them to jewelers and they're not from this world and you can't even put a price tag on them. And I'm like, that is a piece. I could get that at Target right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to believe. I really do.
I
But
know, I do too. I do too. But I tell everybody, just keep your BS meter well calibrated.
yes.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel really silly when I say things like, you got to be skeptical. You got to look for the red flags. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I sound like I don't believe anything.
Right.
This
We
is
sound
coming
like
from this is coming from a person who has been aboard a spaceship.
exactly. I know, as hippie chicks, we can all agree. We're a little out there for sure. But
I know it's crazy when I think
skeptical.
about it. Yeah, but I know what I know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I experience what I experience, but I sound silly when I start saying, "Oh, this guy, he's a quack and all."
But you're also not asking for money trying to convince somebody that you're the one.
No,
You
no,
know,
not at all.
I think that's a big difference with the God, and if we can touch on Osho for just a
That's
little
another one, yes.
Oh,
5 minutes here. The sex cult.
Yeah. Openly.
Openly, like just put me down as someone who's going to abuse people instantly. Okay.
Ugh.
There's no surprise. Like there was no shock that he had complaints about him. They used to be in San Francisco, dressed in their orange uniform with their big huge like cameo of him hanging
Ugh.
from their neck, and these were just like white people, who worked in the corporate world that decided to take off and have fun. And this man had how many Rolls Royces? How many?
99,
Jesus Christ.
where he would drive around the compound and people would line up and
Mhm.
throw flowers
Throw
on him.
flowers.
What the hell, people?
He wasn't even that cute. Okay. I don't even think I would want him to touch me.
No. And then they poisoned
Oh, that's
the
right.
town.
That's
They put E.
right.
coli in
I didn't hear that.
Oh,
oh
it was
yeah.
awful. That
Yeah.
documentary is fascinating, by the way.
It is. It is. They tried to take over politically the town.
Mhm.
And so they put E. coli uh in like salad bars and things like
Mhm.
that in
Oh
restaurants.
my God.
Oh,
So
it
people
was
would get
it was
sick
sick.
and they wouldn't be able to go vote.
It was sick. It was crazy. And there was one woman that was like his second in charge, wasn't
Yes.
she? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's if it doesn't sound like something that God himself would do or Jesus himself would do, there's a cult going on here.
Do we have to really I mean, and then have you guys heard of is it the Raelians? It's the clone cult, but this cult talks about spaceships and cloning humans, that they want to try and clone humans. And I I don't know much about them. Really, I probably shouldn't talk that much about them. But the idea that we're cloning humans, this is a cult I want to belong to. this is a little, I don't know. Some of it you can see why people get caught up in it, and some of it you're like, what? Why?
I think people are just bored and they're looking for
I
something,
think so. I
something new
think
and exciting.
some of it is just as easy as I need more entertainment that I'm not
Yes.
getting.
Yes.
Maybe a lot of it is that. Maybe people are so need distractions so much.
There's Mother God that just they found this woman dead and like completely. Have you heard of this? This
Uh-uh.
is on YouTube. This Mother God was her
Oh,
I
wait.
heard of her. She's
I
dead?
think yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she died. I
Know
think she
that.
had cancer. She wasn't
Oh,
murdered or
that's right.
anything.
That's right. That's right. She had
And
cancer.
they kept her. And
What?
they decorated her with lights and they decorated her with
Yeah.
ornaments.
Oh
And
gosh. Oh
it
gosh.
was finally found out, and they're like, okay, now we have to take you in because this is illegal to do that. And they didn't ever buried her. Um and it's still going on. Like they're still together as a cult.
But that wasn't the woman that drank the what are they
Yeah.
the
Oh,
silver, the
yes. Coital silver.
yeah,
Oh,
every
She
day,
turned
and she
blue.
turned blue.
She turned blue.
Yeah.
And she would scream at infants, like she would scream at children, and like it was obvious, even though there wasn't that much video of the group, but there were a couple where she was reprimanding this child and saying, put him in the closet, and they would literally put like a 3-year-old in a closet to teach them a lesson. And she was screaming at everyone, and she would drink like this wine every night and get drunk, and she'd have to be carried everywhere because she was like so sick.
I
There's
can
It
totally, I
was
can totally
creepy.
see how people can become cult leaders, given how easily people are manipulated.
and some people are born into it. Some people don't.
Yeah, that's the
Well, that's
horrible
true
thing.
too.
The
Yeah.
Children of God
Yeah.
cult. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
horrible.
Um, there's a podcast that I listen to, and they're on YouTube. And I can't remember the woman's name, but it's Cults to Consciousness.
Oh,
Wonderful,
that sounds cool.
wonderful podcast
I'll have to
and
check that out.
YouTube video. This woman is fantastic. She was in the Mormon religion for a long
Mm,
time and left that. And a lot of people that she has on it are on guests have been in different cults, some of them born into them.
mhm.
And it is just it's heart-wrenching, it's sad, it's seems unbelievable at what people do to one another and what they do to children.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're born into it, that's a whole other animal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I mean, you have no other experience but that. How
Mm-hmm.
the hell do you leave that?
How do
Yeah.
you have critical
How?
thinking in that?
How?
So do you want to do you want to go talk about the key components of a cult leader system?
Sure.
And talk
What to avoid?
yeah, what to look out for and
Yeah.
Let's
what to
wrap it up
avoid.
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We
You
should
want to go
totally do
ahead?
that. You want me to do it?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So so the first one, charismatic and authoritarian leadership. The leader is charismatic, unaccountable, dynamic, and often charming but manipulative,
Mhm.
positioning themselves as the ultimate authority, divine, or possessing exclusive knowledge. They consider themselves the sole authority on truth. They have been sent by God or God's chosen one. They often have a narcissistic, grandiose personality. The next one is ideological purity and doctrine. The group is held together by a rigid, non-negotiable belief system that is often a us versus them ideology, creating a sense of superiority over the outside world. Isolation and control. Cults isolate members from friends, family, and society to increase dependence. If they can't isolate members, they convince them that those who don't believe the way they do are dangerous and work on the side of evil. They control communication, information, and daily life, sometimes even regulating sleep, diet, and relationships. Coercive persuasion, also known as mind control. Cults use unethical techniques to break down an individual's sense of self, such as guilt and fear, to ensure compliance and prevent dissent. Exploitation. Leaders often demand that followers surrender money, assets, or their bodies to the group or leader. Lack of criticism. Questioning the leader or doctrine is strictly prohibited, with doubts met with punishment, shame, or fear. They demand loyalty, and if you go against them, they will banish you or worse. Thought reform, the use of loaded language, chanting, such as which also is repeating the same thing over and over and over again to minimize independent thinking. That's a big one. They don't want you to think independently. Common targets. Cults often target vulnerable individuals seeking meaning, community, or solutions to personal problems. And again, you know, that's everybody wants that, right? Everybody wants that. You just have to be very aware that there are people out there that say they can give you all of that, and you just have to listen to everything they say and believe everything they say. And anybody who tells you their way is the only way,
run.
They're
run.
people you need to avoid. Those are people who are they don't have your best interests at heart. They have their best interests at heart.
I remember a phrase, a saying that I did not understand as a kid at all. If you see the Buddha at the side of the road, kill him.
I love that book.
And now I understand.
I
love that book.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's from
I've
the
never read it.
70s, and I can't tell you
Yeah.
how many times I've read it.
So what's the premise of that book?
It was written by a psychologist, and it's follow yourself.
Mhm.
And if you see the Buddha on the side of the road, kill him.
Like literally kill him?
No,
Oh,
metaphorically.
oh,
It's representative of someone outside of yourself
Other than, yeah, the other.
telling you who you are.
oh yeah, yes.
I know you better than you.
I know you better than you. That's right.
Yeah,
I was married to one of those.
yeah.
I know
There's a
you
lot
better
of
than-
people out there that go with that. There's a lot of, whether it's corporate world, whether it's, you know, self-improvement, any of that. I know you better than you know you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
No, that's not the way you feel. You feel like this.
Exactly.
I know how you feel better than you do.
I'm not good with any of that stuff.
Oh,
I know. I don't know. I'm just wired. You know, for someone who does what I do and it is in,
This is why we're friends.
mhm.
I am so skeptical.
Both of us in class together were like,
Yeah.
I
Think for
don't know
yourselves.
what it's been. You know, it's I didn't move out to California because of all the serial killers out there, and and
Yes.
it was probably a blessing because of all the different cults and things going on over there. But it's everywhere, and it's men and women who
Oh, yeah.
start these cults and take advantage of people. So I guess in closing, just tell people to follow yourself. You are your best authority. You are your best person to give you your own advice.
And you can explore stuff, you can
Sure.
read,
Oh yeah.
but it doesn't mean you have to like buy into it.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't give your power away.
Don't ever
Mhm.
give your power away.
Don't give your power away.
Yeah. Agreed.
And
This was
on
a
that note,
yeah, this was a really a good one.
I liked this convo. This was interesting.
Because
Yeah.
this touches so many people right now.
Yeah, it does. All right, girls.
Don't ignore red flags. That's
Don't
a big. Don't
oh
ignore
yeah.
the red
Don't
flags.
ignore red flags.
Mhm.
Don't say, "Oh, well, I'm just going to, I'm just going to ignore that red flag
We
because
all do that. We all do that.
And
Like,
you
oh, it's
want to
not so
give the
bad.
person the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. You always want to give somebody the benefit of the doubt and not like
Give them a
rush
chance.
off immediately.
I know, but over and over and over and over and over and
Just
over and over again,
yeah,
give the person the
yeah.
benefit of the doubt. No.
That's when you gotta be really
That
strong.
you have to be vigilant in watching people's ways and
Mhm.
watching their patterns.
Words matching
Mhm.
actions.
If somebody tells you that you can only reach salvation through me and me alone,
Run.
no.
Run.
Run as fast as you can away from that person, not toward that person.
I think I've always thought of religion or spiritualities as ice cream. I love chocolate. I'm not that big on, peppermint, but I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I think chocolate is the only ice cream. There are thousands of flavors. Try them. Have fun with them. But I don't
That's
think you can
key.
have your own ice cream only be one flavor for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's key is having fun.
Yeah, have
That's yeah,
fun.
exactly.
Experiment, explore,
Don't
adventure, have
take
fun.
anyone too seriously and don't take yourself too seriously.
No.
Exactly.
And my truth might not be your truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it probably won't be,
It probably won't be.
but they can
They're-
coexist.
yeah, but if somebody tells you they have the truth and the only truth, no, that's
Yeah, and
not.
it puts down your truth, forget it.
Oh, and that puts down your truth, no,
If it hurts other people, if it
no.
dehumanizes a group of people,
If
no.
it pulls families apart, no,
No.
that's a big one. If your family's being torn apart because of your belief system and their belief system is so different,
Mm-hmm.
you're losing friends and family over this. You need to
That's a big
seriously look at what is going on because you are being manipulated.
mm-hmm.
Families should not be torn apart. That is not good. That's a
Period.
huge red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Enough said.
Love you guys.
Love
I
you.
love you too.
Love you, everyone. We appreciate you. We love you, and we will see you next time.